Hi everyone. I know it's been a while since I've been able to use the face cam, but I wanted to use it today because I just thought of a theory that just popped in my head on why this severe season has been so gosh dang active. And I think it has to do with the warmer temperatures in the Gulf. And this winter, I actually saw something Ryan Hall y'all made about how this winter there could be more big snowstorms for, nor'easters. I'm sorry, I just got to get used to this. So nor'easters running up the coast, you know, it could be a very big situation. But with the warmer waters, there's more moisture. And I think that's why this severe season during the summer has been seeming more active than, you know, spring. I mean, I know we had that high risk, but compared to other summers, I feel like this year has been very, very active this summer with multiple enhanced days. We're having another one today and another one tomorrow, and we could have another one on. I think day three is going to be a slight, but we also have the severe thunderstorm risk I feel like we might have this weekend. So let me talk a bit about my theory. All right, so let's start off with what's going on today. So as we can see, we do have this light risk of severe weather down the Montgomery area, as you can see. 2-inch hail being reported for the area, and so we definitely got to be watching that. There's also an enhanced risk up here near North Palat, or I don't know how to spell. I'm just gonna say this east of Denver. So we do got a couple storm chasers tracking that right now. We do have a mesoscale discussion, but that's not what I'm here to talk about today. So let's look at over here. The heck? There's still tornadoes going on over here. So, just recently, we had a moderate risk of severe weather for these areas. So, I'm going to turn off some of these things so that it's easier for you guys to see. Alright, so I hope this is a little helpful for you guys to see a little bit better here. So, we did have a moderate risk of severe weather across about these areas over here yesterday. And we did have a couple tornadoes and supercells, but this was in a very uncommon area, including the Washington, D.C. area. Two of my friends were under the severe risk yesterday. One of them doing just fine right now. One of them are without power. Uh, just north of his, where he lives, he got hit by the RFD. We were actually playing games and all that when he got hit. And, yesterday was just a mess. And over here, where most of my viewers are, which I believe are in the Michigan, southeastern Michigan, Detroit area, we've been just getting a whole lot more rain, a lot more beautiful weather. Right now, we do have sunny skies, as you can see outside my window here. Here, I'll show you. Sunny skies. So, let's talk about why I think this severe season during the summer has been extremely active. So, we do know that. Didn't know that I'd do that. So, we do know that over here, we do have those very warm temperatures, like very warm. I don't know why this is laggy. This is just how it is. Just gotta deal with it. But as we can see, we do have, just some daily thunderstorms for Florida right now. But we've had like 101-degree temperatures over here in the Gulf of Mexico, or upper 90s. So just very, very hot. Like it has been, whew, over here in the Gulf of Mexico, and that's why this hurricane season might blow up when we get our first storms to pop up. But luckily, we've had that wind shear there in place, and just it's. But I don't think that's good because that means there's nothing to stop the waters from cooling down. No clouds to block out the sun or take out the temperature a little bit. But that I think these warm temperatures are producing very, very like the dew points are in the upper 70s. So, upper 70s, and these dew points, these are what charge, severe thunderstorms to pop up as low pressure systems. So, I'm going to talk about like this year in Michigan, we've had pretty much, I think we've had more tornadoes than we usually do in the state of Michigan. Not where I live, but I've had I think two mesoscales or uh, two meso things go over me. Uh, so which is like a rotating part of a thunderstorm that can sometimes produce a tornado. So I've had two of those go directly over my house this year. I think none of them have been too damaging. Only one of them produced like pea to half-inch sized hail. But these very very large temperatures are producing higher dew points. So as we look at the United States, these dew points are just gonna charge their way up here. Once they get that door opened, it is hard to stop it, and it will just keep on rising. So let's talk like how we've had in Michigan these past few days. So we've had very convenient. Oh, 1 inch hail report. Very conveniently, we've had low pressure systems centered probably around here a lot. So that low pressure system is just chilling out there. And as you can see, what we're seeing here is a warm front develop, and it's just surging these warm, very warm temperatures to surge upscale across Michigan here that we've been seeing. And we get this cold front, and it's all about when this cold front hits you and the timing of when the cold front hits you. So if this hits during the night, you might hear a rumble of thunder, or you're just going to get hit by widespread shower MVCs, you know, which we've seen a lot over here in Michigan this year, and that's why we've had those very warm, not very warm, a lot of that, rain, and it has been just so relieving here in Michigan to finally be getting some of this rain and not being a desert like we've had been for quite a while. So we're not just drying out here. We finally got some of that rain that we've been needing for a long time. But if this hits you during peak heating, you'll get supercells or squall lines. You'll get hit. There's a chance of everything. So dry lines will produce discrete cells, which is why we haven't been getting supercells or discrete cells in April. We had a dry line event, so that helped develop uh, supercells, but those were more to our south and not in the targeted area. So, you know, but that moderate risk, and what happened during that moderate risk is I think that, there were some very high dew points. Like, this area was supercharged of dew points. So, and that is because it's we had a low pressure centered, I'd say right here. I didn't you know make any video for this event. I don't know why I didn't. I should have. We had the warm front there. All right, still watching. And we had an absolutely large cold front like this, and this caused very severe wind, and we had a couple tornadoes, I believe, yesterday, and it was not a fun day. And these warm waters, you know, not only was this getting taken from the Gulf of Mexico, but it's taken in multiple different places of dew points. So this thing was just ready to explode when the event happened at peak daylight heating. Again, this happened during the night when temperatures were in the 60s or, lower 70s. This would be a much less of a dramatic event like it was. But what's been going on over here in Michigan constantly is that over this July, we had so many of these low pressure systems hitting again during perfect hours, thunderstorms developing along Lake Michigan, and then those pushed east. And usually these events stayed below the Saginaw line because, the temperatures weren't able to get high enough over here. But this these events there were so many of them. And every year, I'll tell you this much. In my days of living here in Michigan, the last moderate risk we had, we didn't have any this year yet. And I want to talk about that in a sec. So, in Michigan, I usually see low end slight risks. Or, maybe your occasional wind, wind, risk sometimes can have a significant, but that's kind like we'll get those like one time a year. We had like three. I mean, not every single one of them was like a significant risk. Like I think a few of them were only wind, but we had a freaking like hail risk in Michigan. Like, remember that? And we had not everyone was bound to get large hail. By the way, if you didn't get hit by large hail, I'm sorry. That is not my fault. It's just how the storms developed. But I know I was right because Flint got absolutely demolished with hail, or somewhere a little bit east of Flint. But it was definitely a very, you know, concerning event, and just looked beautiful. All right, for photographers, especially those were sitting on Lake St. Clair. I know photographers had to be sitting there waiting for those water spouts to kick up because I saw a couple pictures of those on the event page. But we didn't get any tornadoes. Uh, in fact, the marginal risk days is where we got most of our tornadoes, um, because there were randomly supercells that developed, and it took advantage of moisture coming from Lake Huron and lake enhanced tornadoes. But lakes can either increase your tornado potential or decrease your tornado potential. It is a mystery. But let's talk about why this fall maybe we might get some more severe weather events, maybe significant. So July was crazy. Okay, that's no question. This July was a very uncommon year, and what's concerning me is that if this fall we always get at least one event, but what if this event is bigger than the rest? Is what I'm thinking, because in during the fall we'd have more dry line events. I haven't learned that yet, but I need to learn more about it. In the summer, we get more of those cold fronts that don't bring as much dry air behind them. But as there's more cold air available in Canada, I think that's what it is that brings more dry lines that can sometimes hit the Detroit area. But what my concern is if in the fall we have all these very warm temperatures, warmer than they are at this current time of making this video, because there's more time, like these temperatures are not going to stop warming until the end of September or October. Like water temperatures are crazy. So we need to be very careful this fall, I feel like, and this winter. So I think Dixie Alley is going to be supercharged, this year. That I could be wrong, I could not be. But these warmer ocean temperatures or killing the coral reefs is going to play a big role. Now, let's not forget that this doesn't mean it will happen. But if the conditions come right, then we would have to be a little worried about, our chances for severe weather this fall. Because last year, we had that one hail wind event thing, you know, very mild event. It was pretty fun actually because I was in school, so, yippee ki yay. But what would also be very concerning is discrete cells hitting while people are in school. Now, Michigan's more known to get hit during the summer or at the very, end of it or very beginning of fall. Actually, there was one instance where we had a high risk for northwestern Michigan in a November event that happened a long time ago. I just saw it while scrolling through events that hit Michigan. But it was years ago, like nowhere close to this. But what I'm worried about is with these warmer temperatures down over here in the Gulf of Mexico, if there's an open gateway when these ocean temperatures are maybe even scattered into the 100s, there's all that warm moisture that we'll be able to bring up here as soon as the gateway is opened. And if an event happens at the right time, it could be big. That is what my theory is with these warmer temperatures. And Ryan Hall, y'all talked about how these areas could be potential for even bigger snowstorms because of these warmer temperatures. Again, there's more dew points. So if we get like, Toledo bomber, if that happens, there's all that moisture. It is gonna be a big snowstorm. And I know you guys don't like hearing the word snow in August, so you can don't get too upset about hearing that word. But we gotta just be careful and stay weather aware as we head during into times where the jet stream is more stronger than usual. Because I know that happens during the transition from summer to winter or winter to summer. During those transitional months, we have to be a little careful if things hit at the exact right time because the jet stream and wind fields will be much stronger. And I'm gonna make two videos. So right after this one, I'm gonna post another video of a possible event this weekend. So yeah, see you guys and have a great rest of your summer.